Ladies and genitals, welcome back to my Daily Motion channel. Let's just preface this by saying I'm not a therapist, I'm a psychology student, but I love giving unsolicited advice. No, I'll always ask you if you want advice. And I don't know, I just love talking about psychology and like problems and da 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 da.
Yeah, get into it.
Firstly, someone said advice on growing up. It hurts a lot. I don't know why. I don't know how to adequately answer this question because I don't know in what way it hurts you to grow up, but I'll relate it to my experience. Growing up wasn't scary for me. In fact, it is something that I really wanted to do. If you're afraid of growing up, it might be because you are so comfortable being a child. You're so comfortable being shielded. Growing up is not scary. That's what I'm gonna say. I think growing up is actually so exciting. And you should view it from the perspective of being excited for your life. When you're a child, you're very limited. You're under the roof of your parents. You just have to go to school. That is your main priority. But once you're out of that, suddenly it's like this whole world opens up to you and there are so many things you can do. Yes, it can be scary in the sense that you need to be totally responsible for yourself. You got to pay your own bills. You got to like sort everything out, but you have to view it from an excited perspective that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because when you're young, everything is so predictable. I mean, young as in high school, you know, you wake up at 7 a.m, you get ready for school, you come home, you study, and it repeats every single day. And I don't know, I think growing up is exciting. I've never been afraid to grow old. I'm afraid of getting physically old, babes. Like, come on, me as a grandma one day, not a vibe. In fact, I gotta get a little bit of Botox here, babes. Personally, I'm actually the opposite to you. I'm afraid of staying the same, and I'm afraid of not growing. That is my biggest fear. And I think it's a good fear to have, because if you're afraid of not growing, then you're always going to be pushing forward and moving ahead in life. But if you're so stuck in your ways, then you're never going to change. And I think not changing is a lot scarier than not growing. So change your perspective, babes. How do I move on from a friendship breakup? We all go through breakups in life. Some of them hurt more than others. Some of them don't hurt at all. Some of them tear your soul out. But at the end of the day, people come and go. Not everyone is meant to be in your life forever, and I think this is especially true with friends. Especially when you're young. Just relating to what I previously said about how when you're always changing, you're always growing, you're gonna outgrow some of your friends. You guys might go in different directions. You know, a lot of my friends, we do go in different directions, but we still have like a bridge between us because we keep that connection. So in regards to losing a friend, I think if that friend was worth keeping, you both would have tried to keep that friendship together. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be like this. Like when you're in high school, a friend is pretty much like your girlfriend or boyfriend. It's like that type of relationship is so close. But when you get older, you do your own things and you talk like every now and then. So I think if that friend is worth keeping, you guys would have tried to keep this relationship together. And if that friend was not worth keeping, well then you lost them, that's it, goodbye. You will find better people, and people who actually put effort into your friendships. And if you're not the person who's putting effort into your friendships, well maybe you should take a step back and evaluate why you were losing friends or why you did lose that friend. But I mean, it's totally fine, people drift apart. And how to get over a friendship breakup, just know that there are so many other people in the world. And honestly, making friends is a lot easier than finding like a girlfriend or boyfriend. There's so many people in the world. You can literally go outside and go to a park and make a friend right now. You can download Bumble Friends and make a friend right now. You can DM someone on Instagram and make a friend right now. You just gotta put yourself out there, babes. How to not get drawn back into toxic situations. Whew, man. Let me ponder this for a moment.
Hi, sisters!
For the sake of what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to assume this is a toxic friendship or a toxic relationship. I think the real reason why some people really struggle to walk away from toxic situations is because they're, number one, so attached, they're so invested, they believe the other person's going to change, and they just hope that it's going to be different. I also think it's a self-worth thing, because a person with high self-worth, they would know that they need to walk away from that person and to not look back. And I think that can be the trickiest, because sometimes you really love a person so much and you really care about them, but you just have to like say arrivederci, choose if if they're hurting you so much and they're bad for you. And anyways, if you're in a toxic situation, babes, try to leave early. But yeah, I really think it's a self-worth thing, and over time, if you introspect, you'll be able to find the deeper issue. How to stay on your path and stop comparing yourself. I think it's very easy to stay on your path if you know what your path is and what you're doing, but you need to have like such conviction in your path and in your goals that you're able to stick with it. For example, let's say you really want to do something a bit more obscure and difficult compared to the regular pathway, like become an actress. You really believe that you are going to be a great actress, but it's such a difficult pathway to go down. Meanwhile, your friends are becoming like doctors, lawyers, engineers. They have a set pathway. And if you're comparing yourself, saying like, oh, they currently have a full-time job while I'm like going to auditions and not even getting jobs, well, I really think you can't compare that, because your pathway is like this. Their pathway is pretty much like this. I mean, it might be like a bit up and down, but they have a guideline. They know where to go, while you might not know where to go. So if you're in a situation like that, just know that you can't compare it, because it's entirely different and you need to literally forge your own pathway. But the end result is going to be so worth it if you persist. And I really believe grit and persistence is what gets you to your goals. If you're scattering yourself everywhere, like you do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you're never going to get anywhere. You have to really like focus and commit to one thing in order to get to the top. You can't be the best at something if you're trying to be the best at everything. Because you can't be the best at everything, you need to hone your craft. So in regards to sticking to your pathway, the only way you're ever going to be able to stick to a pathway, I really believe it's if you really love it and you believe in yourself. Because if you don't, you're a little bit wishy-washy, then yeah, you're going to be easily persuaded to not go down that route or to try another route. But when you love something so much, you don't need anything else. You would just know what you have to do, and you would know that that's your pathway. It's so hard for me to get out of a mental slump, and they last for days. How do I cope? Girl, yours lasts for days. Mine lasted for literally 2.5 years, and I'm still trying to come out of it. Okay, a mental slump. You know what I think is actually the cause of a mental slump? It's not having a routine. Hear me out. When you're in high school, I feel like you don't even have time to have a mental slump because you're so buried in work, especially in your final years. I can't say for Americans because I know the school system's a little bit different, but in Australia, year 11 and 12, our final years, junior, senior years, we are buried in work. I studied more than I breathed in my final years. Okay, and because I had that schedule and I knew what I had to do, I didn't have time to have a mental slump. And because my brain was so active, constantly doing schoolwork, I don't know, I feel like my brain was just healthier and it was faster. And it was the same like when I entered uni and I was doing a lot of courses. But over time, as I did less and less courses and I had more free time, I was using my brain less, I fell into a mental slump. I personally think that if you want to have an active brain, you need to be learning something. And I think Joe Dispenza talked about it in his book that if you want to change your brain, you got to keep learning new things, trying a new routine, and that's how you stay out of a slump. Trying something new, learning something new. That's why I'm starting to learn a new language now, and I'm actually committing to it, because before I used to be like, I want to learn this language, that language, and I could never choose, so I never actually did anything. Now I'm just sticking to one language and pursuing it, and I'm going to incorporate that into my routine. You can also work out, read. I think reading is really great for the brain. I also think doing math is good for your brain. When I do math, babes, my brain is so fiery. It is on fire. It's fucking fuego. Yeah, I'm learning Spanish. Fuego is the only word I know right now. Anyways, so get out of mental slump, do something new, wake up earlier in the morning maybe. Just try something new, drive a new route, walk a new route. You got to rewire your brain to being new, doing something new. Highly recommend Joe Dispenza. Look him up, babes. I really like this guy, but he's emotionally unavailable. Don't mess with people who are emotionally unavailable, because I really think it's a lost cause. Eventually, they're going to be emotionally available, but you don't know when that is, and you also can't force them out of it. Speaking from my perspective, because I would say I'm very emotionally unavailable right now after my last relationship. Like, I don't want another relationship right now, and not for quite a while, in fact. So I would say I'm very emotionally unavailable, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to bring me out of it. So don't invest your time into someone that's emotionally unavailable, because it's only them who's going to decide when they're ready that they want to date. How do you know you're ready for a relationship? I think you know you're ready for a relationship just when you know. You might be like, I really crave having a partner. And not in the sense that you're lonely and you're missing someone, but you know you just want companionship, or you want to build a life with someone. Personally, I know I'm not ready for a relationship because I really currently value my time alone. But before I did get into a relationship in 2019, I would say I was ready for a relationship then, because I really like the idea of being with someone and building a life with someone and growing with them. But currently right now, that's not very appealing to me. So you go through different phases, and you know, you will know. And at the same time, I think if you're not ready for a relationship, the universe might send you a great person, and maybe then you'll be ready. But it's unpredictable, and the answer is you will know. How do you get your crush to like you? This is going to be very generic. There is no way to make your crush like you apart from being yourself. And if you wanted me to give you a response like, oh, wear some more makeup, post some thirst traps, act like somebody you're not, well, guess what? They might like you, but they're going to like someone who's not you. And then when you start dating, they'll see the real you, and maybe they won't like that. So just be yourself. How do you pick yourself up when you're feeling down on yourself and feeling insecure? This happens to me quite a lot. Actually, no, it doesn't. Every now and then, I'd say. But you know what I have in my phone? I have an album of nice comments. Like, nice comments from YouTube. People saying like, I love your videos, I like you as a person, blah, blah, blah. Or support from my friends. And when I feel bad, or I'm like, oh, I don't like my YouTube videos, I read that and it makes me feel better. So whatever your situation is, try to find something that is able to counter your thoughts. For example, me saying my videos are bad, and then I'll get a comment saying, I love your channel, it helps me so much, and I read that, and then I'm like, oh, that's evidence that my videos are actually good. That's just an example. But if I'm having like a bad day, I have a bath. It doesn't always help because I do it too much, but something that really, really helps for me is I go for a walk. I just get outside, and when I go for a walk, my head is clearer, I'm in the beautiful fresh air, and I feel a lot better. So going outside helps a lot, or even phoning a friend. I cannot stop procrastinating, build up discipline. I open reels and just waste all my time. Building up discipline. This is something I really struggle with as well. I used to be great at it in high school, and this is leading back to the high school thing. I think if you're able to have a routine, that's how you build up discipline. And you know, it takes 21 days to build a habit. Some people say it takes 30 or 90, but I think 21 is like a good starting point. Once you're able to commit to something really small, I think that spirals over time, and it's like the building blocks for gaining more discipline. For example, let's just say you start something really small, like working out for 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, at a set time period as well. Say you're gonna work out 5 to 6 p.m. every day. Stick with that every day for 21 days, and you will be more disciplined at the end of it. And you're gonna wanna do more things. You're gonna wanna wake up more early, maybe you'll wanna eat healthier, you wanna study more. But it just spirals. Like, one good habit, it builds up and it creates a lifestyle over time. So the way to be more disciplined is to just start with one little thing. Damn, I gotta take my own advice.
Hi Bella, I love you from Italy. Ciao.
Hi Bella, I love you from Italy. Ciao. Babes, that video gives me life. If you don't follow me on Instagram, come on, light. You know that I want to move to Italy or Spain. Literally, ever since I talked to Damiano from Baby, I have this zest for life that I didn't have before, you guys. I needed it. The universe sent him to me for a reason. How do you make the most out of life? This is something I think about every day, because I really am like, am I spending my time wisely? And it's usually no. But you know what? I think, you guys, I'm sorry, I was filming a video, so my room is really, really messy. Dude, I think it's genuinely to just do things that make you happy. And it doesn't even matter, like maybe you want to binge watch a show, you want to read a book, if it makes you happy, just do it. But at the same time, you need to have a certain like zest for life and want to explore and do things. But I also think it's each to their own. Like maybe you're not the type of person who wants to travel or get outside, and maybe you just find joy in staying indoors, and that can be like a meaningful life to you. Because I think the meaning of life is created by, it's unique to each individual. So to live a day-to-day meaningful life is to just live according to your values. That's actually something I was talking about with my therapist like 2 hours prior to filming this. So she said, yeah, the way to create a meaningful life is to live according to your values. Like, who do you want to be? And then every day show up as that person. How do you stop being annoyed with everyone all the time? Oh my God, I feel you. Dude, I get annoyed a lot. And usually there's a trigger. So I think it comes down to shadow work, honestly. You find out the trigger, then you can be like, oh, I'm actually really annoyed with you because what you did just reminded me of myself, a part of myself that I didn't like. There's a deeper issue to everything. How do you be happy alone? Guys, I'm so happy alone because I don't feel alone. In fact, I felt really alone in my relationship. And I feel less alone than ever. And I think it's because I have this zest for life that Riccardo Mandolini gave me. I don't know, it's this excitement for life and knowing that there's so much that's gonna happen in my life. That's how I deal with being alone, because I'm not really alone, you know. I'm not alone. Like, I have friends, I have family, and I have so much in my life that's coming. And so do you. And it's so fun. Like, you're not actually alone. You just, you know, you gotta learn to enjoy your own company. We've been in lockdown for, I'd say 2 weeks now, but I haven't seen anyone, I'd say, in nearly a month. And I'm telling you, time went like this. Time went like this because I'm just enjoying my company so much, and I freaking love it, babes. I freaking love it. So yeah, I think that people who really struggle to be alone, it's because they spend too much time with other people. You need to be able to enjoy your own company. And also at the same time, if you're someone that's constantly spending time with everyone, you don't have enough time to find yourself, to discover what you like. So it's in the moments of quiet and being by yourself where you find out who you are. How do you become a hot girl? Being a hot girl is a mindset. I'm a motherfucking city girl. Period. Okay guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want a part 2 to this video, do let me know, because I do enjoy filming this. I just don't want to be a therapy channel. You know, we have my second channel for that, even though I haven't uploaded on her for quite a while. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, enter the comment competition. 3 winners will get a shout out on my Instagram. And next video. Ich liebe dich. Tschüss. Goodbye.
Roman, vacación. Mi hada madrina dijo que sí. Este de aquí me hizo llorar. Este otro me dice marica. Este otro de mí piensa mal. Esto es lo que hago cuando me chingan. Voy a encerrarlos bajo la tierra. Nadie va a comer y de hambre morirán. Madre, quiero saber en verdad quién soy yo.